Angelica speaking.
Angelica, hi, this is Rachel. Rachel McKay. I have the 5:30 appointment with Senator Lincoln. I'm very sorry I'm late. I'm running a bit behind, but I just pulled into the parking lot.
You're lucky. The senator is still in another meeting. Come to the lobby and I'll call down to have you verified. Take the elevator to the top floor. We're in the penthouse suite.
Thank you, Angelica. I'll be right there.
So I can count on you to pass along my proposal.
You have my word. It's Miss Pinero, sir. You can let her in, please.
Your 5:30 is here, Senator.
5:30?
The local reporter from the university. It was the only slot you had available this month, and we agreed to it last week.
Okay, sure. Just give me a few minutes to finish up here. Thank you.
Thank you.
School reporter, huh? Where's the wife?
She's at home with the kids.
Oh, you sly dog, you. I know how these things go, my friend. Just don't stay up too late. I don't want you missing our tea time tomorrow morning.
9 a.m. I'll be there.
Yeah, well, just leave the driver in the bag. We don't want you spraying it around the course like you did last time.
I can outdrive you 20 yards with a 3-wood. I don't think I need the driver.
Yeah, well, maybe so, but you'll never be as smooth as me around the greens. I'll see you in the AM, my brother.
We'll see you tomorrow.
This is Rachel McKay. She is a reporter from the local university. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Senator Lincoln.
Pleasure's all mine, Rachel. Please, have a seat. I'm sorry, they told me that my meeting was with a reporter from the local university.
I am from the university.
Well, you'll have to excuse me, but you can't be a student reporter.
I am. I'm a non-traditional student. Probably not what you were expecting.
No, you're definitely not what I was expecting. But I think that we can make it work.
Okay, so, at what point did you want to become a politician?
5th grade.
5th grade? That's young for such a realization.
Well, my peers voted me class president at a very young age. We used to play this game with our pencils, where you would flick your pencil against your opponents, and whichever pencil broke first was the one that lost. I learned very early on that there were some pencils that were better, stronger than others. So I used my position as class president to acquire the best pencils. Let's just say that I didn't lose too often after that.
So, you went into politics so you could get what you wanted?
I learned early on that I wanted power, and a position in politics would provide that.
So for you, it wasn't about helping others.
Well, you can use your power to help others. It's very complicated. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm being rude. Would you like a drink?
Oh, no, thank you, I'm fine.
So what made you want to be a journalist?
I was a hedge fund manager for 10 years and needed a change. I've always been interested in journalism, so it's now or never.
You sure you don't want a drink?
I'm fine for now, thank you.
Well, let me know if you change your mind.
Where did you grow up?
Lexington, Kentucky.
The Bluegrass State?
That's the one.
Do you have any siblings?
Do you really want to spend the next hour asking me questions you can find the answer to on Google?
Just didn't know how aggressive I could be.
You can be as aggressive as you want.
Okay then. Do you have aspirations to one day become president?
I'm a very ambitious man.
If you're going to invite me to ask aggressive questions, I'm going to need direct answers.
Fair enough. Let's play.
So you're saying what? That American politics is nothing more than a popularity contest? Is that it?
It's exactly what it is. And the fact that the American people are still oblivious to this is beyond me. Both parties use the primaries as a way to gauge the popularity of their candidate. It's not about who can do the best job leading the country. It's about who can garner enough votes to put their political party in a position of power. That's it.
But don't the two go hand in hand? The competency to do the job and the votes of the American people?
Not necessarily. Did you ever compete in beauty pageants, Rachel?
No, I did not.
Well, in beauty pageants, the audience believes that the girl who does the best on stage is the one that will take home the tiara. And in a perfect world, that would be the case, but we don't live in a perfect world. The hard truth is that the pageant director and the board know exactly who's going to win that competition before it ever begins. The girl that they feel will represent them best on the national level is the one that will take home the crown, regardless of whether she has earned it or not. It's no different in politics.
Well, you seem to know a lot about beauty pageants.
Well, I've dated a lot of pretty girls. And I was on the board of a state pageant for 5 years.
I just find it very difficult to believe that all of this is true. That American politics isn't as great as it's made out to be. We have the greatest democracy in the history of the world, and you are comparing it to some beauty pageant. I just don't believe it.
Do you think that the American government would allow the people to know the truth? Do you think that we're always the good guy? That we were able to climb to the top of the mountain without stepping on the backs of others? I mean, you can't be that naive. You've been watching way too many Hollywood movies if you believe that. We allow the people to see what we want them to see. Fox News, CNN, the New York Post, it's all a smokescreen for what really goes on in politics. You may as well be reading the National Enquirer.
So now all of our news outlets are corrupt too. I feel like I've heard it all now.
Corrupt isn't the word that I would use. Intentionally misinformed, yes. And as long as the media is more interested in generating clicks, well, it only adds to the problem.
What about 2020? That was a year that most people would like to forget. What's the real story behind it?
Well, COVID was not by some random chance. It was man-made. It was unleashed into America to destroy our economy and to destroy American lives. And it almost fulfilled its purpose.
If that's true and the American government knew about it, then why weren't we close to going to war?
We were a lot closer than you would think.
Then why didn't we? Thousands upon thousands of lives were lost. Why did we just sit back and do nothing?
Because there was a real chance that we would have lost that war.
How? We have the greatest military in the world. How could we have lost?
We lost several allies in the last administration. Our position in the world was compromised, and it would have been very risky.
Then just have a draft. Take more men. Make up for the allies that were lost.
Well, it's not that simple. Besides, the last thing America wants is another draft. I mean, look what happened in Vietnam. We want our troops to volunteer. That way, when they don't make it home, we sell it to their families and to the American public as a great sacrifice. If they're drafted, it was forced upon them. And that takes away the perception of patriotism, which leads to the criticism of elected officials, which that's not good for people like me.
This is crazy. Okay. So what about 2022, the Supreme Court decision Roe versus Wade? That was a landmark decision. What's the story there?
Roe v. Wade. I'm going to say this because I like you. But what I'm about to say can never leave this room. Nothing that I've said to this point can ever leave this room for that matter. But the Republican Party is built on one fundamental component: Christianity. And under that umbrella, they reap the benefits of being anti-gay marriage, and to answer your question, anti-abortion. Many of their votes are won out of the gate on these two issues alone. Most of their voters don't even have to see the other issues before they cast their ballots for the Republicans. On the other hand, you have the Democrats. They sell themselves as the progressive party, the new age, if you will. Always adapting to the culture, accommodating the people, and making sure that everyone has equal rights. The Republicans know who they are. The Democrats are constantly evolving, and as the needle moves, so do they. The issue with the Republicans is that they are unwilling to change and are desperate to maintain status quo. The issue with the Democrats is they're so passionate about being the first ones to do this and the first ones to do that they often lose sight of the target. The American people are the casualties that are caught in between. They argue and they fight about which party is best, and every 4 to 8 years they go to the polls and they vote for the candidate that they feel like is best at the time. And then they find themselves criticizing that same candidate for not doing what they said they were going to do, and so on and so forth. And then another candidate takes their place, and that same cycle happens over and over and over again. The politicians are the winners here. The two-party system is the winner. The American people are the losers. Politicians go into office with a modest life and a modest salary, and they leave with a few homes, several cars, and maybe even a mistress or two. I, for one, plan on having that and much more by the time that I leave office. It's getting late. Why don't you stay with me tonight?
You want me to stay?
I do. You're a little more experienced than what I'm used to, but...
And by experienced, you mean older. Gee, thanks. But I'll have to pass.
You're making a big mistake.
I doubt that.
Leave the recorder.
Excuse me?
No, I can't let you walk out of here with that. There's information on there that could be damning to my presidential run.
You asked me when I walked in here why I wanted to be a journalist. The truth is, to expose assholes like you. You are a very self-righteous, arrogant, and corrupt man. And I can only hope that you aren't successful in your aspiration to become president one day.
Sounds like I'll fit right in. Good luck with that journalism career. You're gonna need it. It's getting late. You should stay with me tonight.
You want me to stay with you?
I do.
Assembly salute, assembly pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.